I want to share with you a little bit about what I'm here for and what I'm going to be sharing with you later this year online. Um, I was born in India as one of 7 children, and I've always lived what I call a global life. I've never felt attached to any one country. I've Swedish, German mother, English father, lived in India. I spent a lot of time traveling around the world in the last 24 years teaching. Um, and I never ever thought of myself ever as being a teacher. I was a professional photographer for 17 years, and I thought that would be my whole life. But I was called, you've heard this word, called by the divine to come and do a particular job. And it happened at a time of my life when it was the late 80s. And I was just getting together with my partner, Jane. We've been together since August 88, we got married. And we've got 5 children and 4 grandchildren. And it was a time of my life when I was just starting the family experience. You know, we'd just bought our first house. And in April 1988, exactly 33 years and 1 month ago, it happened. And what it was I was communicating with a goddess who called herself Alina, who said she was my guide, and she's one of the goddesses now. And I'd asked if we could have a full friendship, a deep friendship. So, in other words, have a relationship in which I could really discover what she was about. And one Saturday night, she said to me, she said, "You know all the archangels?" And I said, "No, I don't. I have no idea about these. I know a few. I know Michael, I know Josiah, but I don't know the others." And she said, "Yes, you do know them." And I thought this was a strange thing because I'd been communicating with her for about 2 months before that. And then the very next morning, when Jane, my fiance, at that time was actually out doing a nursing shift, I was communicating using my pendulum with spirit, and suddenly this incredible presence came into the room. And when a great presence comes in, it's almost as if the room changes, the whole room changed. And there was this incredible light around me. And I said, "Who's this?" And she said, "This is Om, the Supreme Divine." And I said, "Wow." But I was also very skeptical. I said, "Well, I need proof. I can't just take this, that this is the fact." And then suddenly the weirdest thing ever happened that's ever happened to be happened. And that was, there was a fizzing or a strange sensation upon my crown chakra, like a sort of vibration. And it just moved down my body like a wave. And when it got to my heart, I felt this very strong heartbeat right in the center of my chest, like almost banging out of my chest. It was so powerful. And I thought, oh, that's strange. My heart slipped because it should be to the left. I put one hand upon this new beating heart, which was circular, which was a sphere. And then very slowly put my hand to where my heart normally was, and my heart was there, beating at a different beat. And then this incredible realization came over me that there were 2 hearts beating in me at the same time. And it absolutely blew my mind. I just couldn't understand what was going on. And then before I could even think further, the sensation passed through my body, out of my feet, and was gone. And I said to Alina, I said, "Who is that? I mean, that was extraordinary." She said, "That was Om, and he formed his beating heart inside you." And I thought, wow, that's pretty mind-blowing. And later that day, she actually showed herself to me when I was driving into London on the M4 at sort of high speed, looking at my reflection of my eyes, strangely enough, in the central mirror, there was the eyes of a beautiful woman looking straight at me from the reflection of my own eyes. And then she told me that was her. So I was a bit blown away. And then for 3 months after that, I had many experiences where the spiritual world showed them to me in sort of different ways. But after 3 months, they stopped. And then I sort of asked, why? Why have they stopped? I mean, this is so wonderful. I wanted to go on. It was like somebody had opened the door to me to heaven, and now it was closed again. And then Om told me, he said, we've proved ourselves to you. Now you have to have faith. We're going to work with you. And that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. Last 33 years, I've been doing what Om asked me at that point. I call him Om, not God, because Om is the name that's given to me for the supreme divine being. So then my life as a father began, and the kids came, and we got married, and then I started to work for Orasoma. And I came in as lab manager in '93, worked there for 20 years, and helped to bring in higher energies into everything. That was my job. I was an energizer. So I looked after the product, but it was really the energies, what it was all about. And that journey in Orasoma was a spiritual education. It was an education as to what life is about, how it's structured, what goes on, what is important within life, and what's not important, and where humanity, in many cases, is going wrong. But we have this law of free will that says each person can choose, each person chooses their path. We all come to the light, but we come at different times. We all come home, back to who we are, back to our divine selves, but we come back at different times. We choose our journeys, we choose our experiences, we choose our lifetimes. And unfortunately, for some people, that freedom of choice has led to darkness and evil. And there's been a lot of this manifested in the world recently. And a lot of this is behind this lockdown that we've got now. But as I said just before the meditation, this is a chance for a complete reset. This is a chance for a complete rebirth or a reset of our life upon earth. And this is a chance for many people to make that jump, make that transition to something much more meaningful, much more fulfilling, much more loving. Because at the center of life itself is love. Life is a love experience. Whatever anybody else says, it's all about love. And power is there to serve love. And the energies that I'm bringing through, that Spirit wanted me to bring through, are really energies of love in different ways. And the 7 goddess elixirs that you see in front of you represent energetically our 7 chakras. I'm in the process of bringing through 7 god elixirs in these bottles here, and these represent the 7 chakras above the crown chakra. In fact, what I'm bringing through now is a divinely appointed system whereby we can be supported, energized, healed, uplifted, and enhanced with the energies of the different goddesses and gods in the divine world, what we call heaven. And these beings all have a particular role to play, each one their own particular thing. And the goddesses, which have all come out now, have in particular the role of healing. in particular, the feminine of this planet, the feminine side of this planet has to do with love and healing. Of course, many other things, but love and healing are the focus. And so we come to the first course that I'm going to teach. And I'm just looking at the dates here. Yeah, the 29th of May. 29th of May, we're going to do the course of Goddess Elixirs and the Chakras. This is the second course to do with the goddesses. The first course was to establish who they were and what they did. And we experienced that over 2 days when I came to Catherine's place in Waiheke in 2019. But now this is the course that goes on from that. This course is all about how to work with the goddesses for healing, how to work with the goddesses to really bring about total well-being. And we explore in this course the colors. Now, what you see first of all is the colors here don't correspond with the normal chakra colors, except for the green, but this is a pale olive green rather than a mid-green. But the one on the left here is base chakra. She is Amateris, but she's a deep gold, whereas normally we would think of as red for the chakras. And the reason is that each goddess chooses the color, which is their light vibration, according to their qualities, the qualities of being that they bring, rather than the traditional chakras. Interestingly, the gods are pretty much all the traditional chakra colors, except a paler version of them. And when they're completely through, they will show, you know, this kind of chakra thing. And I'm just putting these in place here, and you can see behind. In fact, if I tip the screen down a bit, you might see a bit more clearly. You'll see the gods behind here. Now, there's 2 more gods to come, so the process isn't completed. We're bringing through the 6th god, Welhime, in the end of July, and then the Supreme Divine, comes with his elixir at the end of September this year. Then the set of gods and goddesses will be complete. And so for the Goddess Elixirs and Chakras course, anybody who really wants to work with the goddesses might find this a very, very useful course to in fact attend, because we go into what the goddesses are for and what the colors mean, but we also do some exercises where we feel the goddesses inside our chakras. Now, we're going to actually work this course energetically through the internet, and I've been doing this, and it sort of really works. We've even just done a big course with Holland and people from 5 other countries around the world, with elves, dragons, and unicorns, and that actually worked absolutely brilliantly as well. And that was pretty complicated to send all those beings to all the different people, but it worked. And this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be working in pairs. I'm going to work out, if you can't work with a person actually in the same room, we're going to use something called Zoom rooms, and I'm going to find out all about that so that we can link 2 people to work as a pair, because we'll be doing a pair exercise where we will feel how the goddesses affect particular chakras. And this will be a particularly interesting exercise, because we'll find out then how the goddesses work in a very subliminal, in a very soft, in a very gentle but powerful way with our different chakras and with the issues we have in our different chakras. And then we also look at the different therapies, which in fact the goddesses can be really helpful for. There's a lot of people that do massage, for example, shiatsu, touch for health. A lot. There's people working energetically on the subtle bodies. Vicky Ingham in Australia has been doing chakra massage, and she got a whole set of these. In fact, she got 2 sets, and she's been using them to massage the different subtle bodies through the chakras. And the goddesses are supremely good for this. And we're going to be doing group discussion, energy field exercises as well, to feel the goddesses, how they work over a whole group of people over some distance. They can be in different parts of the world, because you can form group energy fields over hundreds, thousands of miles. In fact, we actually did one in China, from Western China right away to Beijing, right away to Shanghai, to Taiwan, and to Hong Kong. We formed one big group energy field then, and the work that we did was very, very effective. So there's a lot to experience, but I mean, by the end of the day, you will have a real knowledge and experience of how the goddesses work personally, both upon yourself with definite issues that you have, but also with a group energy as well. So in fact, that's the first course.